The Bossy Pig. "We will have a picnic on Saturday," Mrs. Pig told her friends. "You must come." Mrs. Pig made a list. "I want a table and 6 chairs," said Mrs. Pig. "I want some juice and some plates." She was a very bossy pig. "I can bring a blanket," said Mrs. Sheep. "A blanket is not on my list," said Mrs. Pig. "You bring the table." "All right," said Mrs. Sheep. Mrs. Pig looked at her list. "You bring 6 chairs," she told Mrs. Goat. "All right," said Mrs. Goat. "I can bring some milk," said Mrs. Cow. "Milk is not on my list," said Mrs. Pig. "You bring some juice." She was such a bossy pig. Mrs. Pig looked at her list again. "We need plates," she told Mr. Horse. "I will bring plates," said Mr. Horse. "I know what I can bring," said Mrs. Owl. "Don't bring anything," said Mrs. Pig. "We have everything we need." "But I know something else we need," said Mrs. Owl. All the animals came to the picnic. They played games. Mrs. Cow flew a kite. "Stop playing," said Mrs. Pig. "Put a table under that big tree," said Mrs. Pig to Mrs. Sheep. "Mr. Owl will help you." "Set up the chairs," said Mrs. Pig to Mrs. Goat. "Set the table," she told Mrs. Cow and Mr. Horse. Mrs. Pig looked at her list one last time. "That's it," she said. "Now, please sit down." "Where is the food?" asked Mrs. Goat. "The food?" asked Mrs. Pig. "Oh dear, I forgot the food." Mrs. Owl smiled. "You forgot the food," she said, "but I didn't." "You are a wise, wise owl," said the bossy, bossy pig. "Now let's eat."